Hello everybody and welcome to every confirmed 2.2 feature. This video aims to go over every single confirmed 2.2 feature that is announced to come in the 2.2 update to the best of my ability, as the more specific the information gets, the more obscure or untrustworthy it gets. There is an insane amount of features, so this video is a collaboration with Aerma, who helped with recording and some of the research for this video. Go check out her channel, it's got a ton of 2.2 content. If you enjoyed today's video, please remember to like and subscribe, it helps out the channel a ton, you'll see more content like it. And without further ado, let's get into the video. So the way this video is organized is that first off we're going to go over the delayed features that were originally announced to be part of 2.2, but then were delayed to future updates or non-specific times. And then all of the features have been split into 4 categories: gameplay, icons, platformer, and editor. If we did miss anything, please make sure to comment it down below. I'll try to do my best to make as many corrections as I possibly can if there are any corrections to make. Because hey, you think you know everything about the update, and then it actually turns out that 12 years ago, Rob was drunk and made a rant about how his balls only weigh like 2.2 grams, and that's actually a hint on how he's going to bring Geometry Dash to Fortnite or something crazy. But quickly, in terms of delayed features, we only have a few. First up is Versus Mode, which was delayed to 2.21. For those who don't remember, Versus Mode is essentially the multiplayer aspect of 2.2, and in order to fully flesh this out, it has been delayed. This includes the Versus Mode chat box, which could be delayed to 2.21 or further. The other big delayed feature is, of course, Explorers, and while it is sad to see the poster child for 2.2 get delayed, hey, a delayed update or a delayed level will one day be good, whereas a rushed update or level will always be bad. Then it also should be noted that not all of the gauntlets will be coming immediately when 2.2 releases, as they will be staggered in release in order to make sure that there are 2.2 levels in those gauntlets, which I personally think is a great idea. So now on to the gameplay. First and foremost, we obviously have Swingcopter, a new game mode for the main game that finally brings proper mechanics and icons to a feature that the community tries to play around with all the time. The mechanics are said to be much better than the sort of janky makeshift ones that we have now, where you make a dual ball with blue orbs and try to make a Swingcopter that way. But you don't have to take my word for it, because it's also in the upcoming 2.2 level, Dash, which has been confirmed to be its official name. This is a level shown in the first sneak peek way back in, oh god, 2020. Oh my god. Anyways, it does showcase a ton of new 2.2 editor features that we will get into more later. Next up are new key chests that will be added to the treasure room, so there's something that you can finally do with all of your demon keys that you've been silently just accumulating for the past few years. Apparently there's also going to be a new system for star achievements that's more interesting than just collect X number of stars in like a quest, along with new quests of course, which I don't have very much detail on. Rob was very vague about it when he mentioned it. If anyone has any more specific information, please feel free to let me know in the comments. Of course, we all know that recently Rob revealed that sound effects will be coming to the editor in 2.2. Last he mentioned, Rob said that there are about 12,000 of them. To say that that scares me would be an understatement. Next up is one of my personal favorites, new level ratings, these being legendary and godlike, which are above the epic rating, to further reward levels that truly stand out. These ratings will not be common at all. Rob has stated before that godlike will most likely only really get a couple levels a year, which is really exciting. Next up is a new currency, Diamond Gems, if that is the final name. They are essentially diamonds that you can spend that don't affect your regular diamond count. There's going to be a new shop added where everything costs diamond gems instead of orbs. As I mentioned a bit before, there are 35 gauntlets coming to the game. The 30 that were originally announced and will be staggered in terms of their release, along with the World, Galaxy, Universe, and the 2 Discord gauntlets. Again, some of these gauntlets will be released over the course of 2.2 so that actual 2.2 levels can be included within them. Next up is the replay system, which we don't really know that much about. It'll be really cool to finally see a replay system reintegrated into the game after the death of every play like a billion years ago. I feel like I'm the only one who remembers that that was ever a thing. Like, does anyone else remember when people would use every play to record their completions, or have I gone completely insane? Next up are the Porb and Ord. What? Next up are the portal and orb visual aids for colorblind people, which can be toggled. These were also shown in the first 2.2 sneak peek. Next up are some new shards, which will be some interesting loot to find with the new chests that are coming. And also apparently the practice music hack is now going to be part of the main game, which is really fun to see. And for the last feature in terms of gameplay, we have definitely the most controversial one, the 240 Hz physics lock. Essentially the point of this is to lock every device's physics to 240 Hz in order to sort of level the playing field a bit in terms of the disparity between hardware and skill in the game. This has so many ramifications that people have made entire twit-longers and YouTube videos on like one specific detail of a ramification of this change, but I'm already a 240 Hz player, so that's kind of funny.
Hey y'all, Aerma here. Let's talk about some icon stuff. So, the icon glow change. This is something that honestly should have been in GD a while ago, so it's great it's being added now. I love customization. It's a simple change, but definitely a good one. There's also plenty of new icon colors, which will be really fantastic for adding shades that the game doesn't have yet. I've always wanted a nice light pink, and that's here now amongst so many others. And the way they're all laid out in the icon kit is really nice. There's also over 700 new icons, which is just insane. That is double the 350 or so icons we have right now. My only gripe is that it seems that the vast majority of these new icons, about 500 or so, are cube icons, which means all the rest have to be split between the 7 game modes. I wish all the others got some more love. Still super incredible though. As mentioned, the icon kit looks different now. The colors are set aside in their own screen where you can see all your icons at once, and the color picker at the bottom has been replaced with page selectors. With a number of new icons and colors, this is a great quality of life change. Thanks, Rob. Alongside all the new icons and colors are brand new animations and death effects, which is awesome. It's unknown how many of these alternate animations there will be to buy on unlock, but hopefully it's a good number. I'm so curious what the new death effects will look like too. Selling us these new animations will be the mechanic, one of the new shopkeepers. Apparently he also sells ship exhaust upgrades, though it hasn't yet been explained what that means. Hopefully it's cool. And of course there's the new diamond shopkeeper shown in the 2.2 trailer, who so far remains nameless. In this shop you'll buy icons with diamond gems, which are earned alongside regular diamonds. Pretty cool.
And now for platformer mode features. A lot of features that aren't directly platformer but relating to platformer have already been mentioned in the gameplay segment or will be mentioned in the editor segment, but there are still quite a few platformer specific features. First off, platformer mode itself, which alone doubles the playtime of Geometry Dash. Every game mode that we have in normal mode will also be available in platformer mode. However, the ship game mode will be retextured as a jetpack, purely as an aesthetic change because given the physics of the ship normally in the regular version of Geometry Dash, it looks very wonky to have the same textures for the ship as platformer mode, so this is pretty much just an aesthetic change. Next up are checkpoints in platformer levels that seem to work kind of like Super Mario checkpoints basically. These were showcased in a recent sneak peek of the update. There's also a few new things that were mentioned in the new 2.2 trailer, including that over 6,000 songs are going to be added to the game, most likely for platformer levels, and 4 official platformer levels. There's also the tower, which we don't really know that much about, but it's most likely where the official platformer levels will be. RobTop also mentioned that the map will be quote-unquote mostly user levels, so it might be sort of like a gauntlet situation, but for platformer? I don't know. We don't know that much about the tower or the map anyways, something the king something. Again, if you have more details, please leave a comment. There will also be a new collectible, just like the stars that we have for regular Geometry Dash, there are now moons for platformer mode instead of stars. The finalized color of the moon collectible is supposed to be blue, which I think is kind of funny. Aerma pointed out that we already have way too many blue collectibles and currencies. I mean, think about it, we have diamonds, diamond gems, orbs. Something to think about, I guess. And finally, players will be able to switch between normal and platformer levels when searching for levels.
Onto the editor, we have a massive number of changes and new features, so let's go through them quickly. Over 1,500 pixel blocks, that's so cool and so many. I can't wait to see what levels look like. It's just a ridiculous amount of variety. At least 48 new fonts. Not a huge deal, but cool nonetheless. A new options trigger where you can control different aspects of the level, enable or disable player control, change blending of the wave trail, hide one of the 2 players in duels, etc. Multiple area triggers. We don't know exactly what these are or how they work, but they can do some pretty intense stuff as Rob has shown off. So excited to see what they'll be capable of. There is the crazy new gameplay direction trigger, aka the arrow trigger, which can rotate the gravity, even allowing sideways gameplay. This will open up countless new level opportunities. I want to play it so badly. There's a bunch of new shader options, like invert color, sepia, shockwave, and so on, that can add some pretty neat visual effects to your level. Definitely a good addition. Of course, there's the new SFX trigger allowing sound effects in levels. I really hope creators only use these for platformer levels, to be honest. It would feel weird to have sound effects in normal levels, but this will add so much depth to platformer mode. I'm really glad Rob decided not to wait till 2.3 for them. Similarly, there's a new song trigger that allows you to go to any point of the current song or change the song altogether. Once again, this will be so amazing for platformer mode, so different areas can have different atmospheres. Auto build system, alright, so I think that for more ambitious projects, this won't be used very much, but for smaller things it could definitely be helpful for creators, so that they can spend less time copying over design and more time adding cool new stuff to their levels. Apparently the UI will be pretty primitive in 2.2, but will be improved later on. Oh, here's a cool one, an end trigger that allows the creator to set an ending of their level to wherever they want. This will be really useful for platformer levels, so that the level can end once the player completes a certain task, instead of just having to get to the rightmost side of the level. The gradient trigger. I'm not quite sure how this works, but it looked pretty cool in the trailer. It seems like you can set the points of the 4 vertices in the trigger menu, and I'm curious what people will end up doing with this. Advanced follow. I'm sure you're seeing the pattern by now. I'm not sure how it works, but I'm very excited to see what people do with it. It seems like it'll make some really awesome stuff for platformer mode. The scale trigger. This is another thing that should have been in the game a while ago, but it's really great to see it all now. Rob has said that using it too much can cause lag in levels, so be careful you all. Oh, of course, the random trigger. People complain about this a lot, but I don't think it's going to be a huge deal. As long as it's not used in malicious ways, it should be pretty alright. And how could I forget the new camera triggers? The camera change options are such a game changer, though I do worry people will overuse them like they've been doing in the 2.2 GDPS. They're meant to enhance the levels in subtle ways, like Rob Top has done in Sub-Zero and in the sneak peeks. They're not supposed to be the main focus of levels, and I hope people learn to use them in better ways. Oh my gosh, the spider orb and the spider pad. I love these little things so much. Not a huge deal by any means, but they're so quirky and fun. Green gravity portal, neat feature. Teleport orbs, good idea. Free fly, definitely a necessary addition. No more object limits, go off Rob Top. Particle editor is limitless and phenomenal. New block options, ice, passable, untouchable, all great features, especially for platformer. New animated objects, hell yeah. And finally, the new keyframe system, which really turns Geometry Dash into its own game engine. Movements, especially complex animations, will be so much easier and more accessible. Totally worth the added wait time for 2.2.
So yeah, those are all of the confirmed 2.2 features that are coming in the update. Thanks so much to Aerma for helping out with this video. A decent amount of this video was recorded like back in October, but then of course I delayed the video because the update also got delayed. As of the recording of this outro, that seems like the update's going to come out in early December, and I honestly couldn't be more hyped. It still feels surreal even though we've been waiting for all these years. It's ironic in a way, because really we aren't completely ready for everything that's about to come, and I mean, it's been over 6 years. Like, the game is going to more than double in size, which is amazing, and it's going to be here within like a month, assuming Rob Top isn't a jackass. So yeah, that's it for today's video. If you did enjoy today's video, please remember to like and subscribe. Helps out the channel, yada, you get the idea. If there's any updates on any of the features mentioned in this video or anything that we completely omitted entirely, please feel free to leave a comment down below. And yeah, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in 2.2. Goodbye.